A broadcasting legend in his own mind. He's known to be prickly and very opinionated. It's time to get in the huddle with your host, Coach Muddle.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome. Sorry, I didn't realize I had my phone turned up. So, Nevada Nick, Captain Jack, welcome back to Facebook. Yesterday, as everyone knows, thanks for everyone who joined us on YouTube yesterday. We're back here. So tomorrow, so everybody knows, we're going to go back to YouTube. We're going to kind of flip-flop for a little bit and kind of segue to the YouTube action. So that's a game plan. So everyone knows. Make sure, listen, you missed the show, you can always check it out in the podcast, wherever you listen to your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Google, all those. So check that out. And call in, guys. 302-313-6797 is the number. We're taking calls. Nevada Nick, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well. As I said, Coach, I got a couple of games I'm going to give out first, if you don't mind, because one of them obviously starts at 6:30. I got a bunch of games today. So I got 7 games. I'm starting to get really into them. I'm a degenerate today. I'm going to start off tonight. I like the Blues tonight. They are minus 140, so you lay 140 to win 100. I like the Blues tonight. I think, they got a nice win. I believe it was an overtime the other game. Their goalie's been playing well. They were still, although I think they're the 3 or 4 seed, they had the best record in the West coming into the bubble. So, like I said, I like the Blues tonight.
Can I ask a serious question? And no, this is not to bust your balls.
Right.
If you say you lay 140 to get 100, if I laid 70, then I'd get 50, or if I laid 35 and I'd
Correct.
Get, okay.
Yeah, if you laid 70, you get 50. You lay 35, you get 25.
Okay. No, I wasn't.
Yeah, no. It's a good thing to kind of, give an equivalency to people so they can understand it. But no, yeah, that's a great point, Captain Jack. And then going on the basketball court, I got a 2-team tease, 1 game tonight, 1 game tomorrow. I'm going to start with the Clippers. The Clippers are 5.5. And you can do in a 2-team tease, you get to take 4 points, 4 points off the spread. So I'm going to get the Clippers minus 1.5 tonight, and I'm going to put them with the Lakers, who lost last night. So I think the Lakers will come back with a nice performance tomorrow. So I'll have the Lakers minus 2.5. And obviously it's a tease. Both of those games need to cover for you to win. So I got the Clippers minus 1.5 with the Lakers minus 2.5. And then we're going to go another basketball game, which is at 6:30 tonight. The Celtics-Sixers line is only 4.5. That's telling me it's a Sixers line. I just believe that. I think the Celtics should be like 6.5. I know Hayward's hurt, but so is Ben Simmons. So that kind of evens out. I like the Sixers tonight, plus 4.5. And then I'm going to go to baseball. I like the Yankees. How can't you like a guy that's won 20 games in a row? Now, you got to lay 180 to win the 100. So, Captain, as you would say, you would lay 90 to win 50, in your terms, as you said before. And then I also like the Astros tonight. They're laying 140 for 100, just the same as the Blues were. I like the D-backs, who are plus 140. Kind of surprised. D-backs have won 6 games in a row, playing good. They got the better of the 2 pitchers pitching tonight. Sorry, Angela, I know you're an A's fan. But, I like the D-backs tonight. And then my upset special tonight, Mets-Marlins. DeGrom's pitching. Marlins are plus 2. So if you bet 100, you get 200 if they win. I like the Marlins tonight. I just think that's good value.
Whoa, wait a second. How is that an upset? The Marlins are in first place right now.
It's 2-1. That's what I'm saying to you. But if you bet $100 and the Marlins win tonight, you get $200. It's because DeGrom's pitching for the Mets. But the guy who's pitching for the Marlins, he has a lower ERA, and he's looked good this year. I think it's Pablo Lopez. But he's looked good.
Yeah. Lopez.
And he's looked good. And he's a good young pitcher, and that's why the Marlins have been good this year. So I'm taking the value. I think getting 2-1 with the Marlins is great value. I know DeGrom's probably the best pitcher in baseball, if not definitely top 3. I think he's won the last, 2 Cy Youngs in the National League? Or did Flaherty win last year? Okay, but still, DeGrom's a big pitcher. But I think it's great value. So I like the Marlins tonight at 2-1. So that's my upset special. And like you said, Coach, it just shows you. But yeah, the Marlins are 2-1 tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's everything.
I wouldn't have even known because again, I don't bet. By the way, Stiz, you lay 1,000 for me. I'll bet your money all day long, brother. I'll bet your money all day long. And if I win, I win. If I win, I win on your money. And if I lose, it's your money, motherfucker, because you said so. I'll bet with Stiz's money all day long.
Stiz rode the Lightning today, and he texted me and said they're up 2-0, and I didn't know he bet them. I said, well, it's over in overtime now, and I didn't know he bet them. He's like, oh, man, I'm going to lose. But luckily, Tampa Bay won 5-4.
No. And that's what – can I jump off on that point right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I was busy today – after teleworking, of course, because I would never do anything to get away from teleworking because I have to telework. But in a break from teleworking, I had to go put some things in the mail for my patches, which I might as well do a product line thing here. If I can fucking get the patch, there you go. Put these patches in the mail. Wonderful Captain Jack patches. If you like them, make sure you get with me. So anyway, I had to go to the post office. And I had to go to the UPS store. And, of course, it was only in 10 minutes because I did all of this in 10 minutes, okay, of course, because I wouldn't get away from teleworking. Anyway, so I was away from the radio for 10 minutes. And lo and behold, it went from the Lightning winning to Columbus winning 4-2. And then – yeah, fuck yes, Stiz. I'll use you like that. Yeah, ride him, cowboy. But then I went on the radio, and it's like, oh, the Lightning game's still on? How can this be on? In 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, mind you. 10 minutes, I get back to the radio. And they're like, and it's 4-4 in overtime. And I'm listening to, obviously, the local broadcast, and you've never heard two guys that are more homerish than the guys that do the Lightning. Okay, first off, it's Phil Esposito, and I love Phil. I do. Phil Esposito is great.
Phil Esposito is still around.
Yeah.
God, is he like 120?
I think he's 119. But anyway, but Phil is the guy, and Phil is, oh my God, and he's kind of like, I'm not saying he's drunk, but he's kind of like the drunk guy that comments on everything that's going wrong, okay, in the game. And then they got the other guy whose name escapes me, but if you ever watch a lot of the national sports shows, this guy, when the Lightning score a goal, it's like he has a multiple screaming orgasm on the microphone. Go! Win, boy! With the goal! I'm like, dude, take a fucking Quaalude. Okay?
Yeah.
And
better than the soccer. Remember when the guys score in soccer? No. But and what Chris said, he's wrong about Velasquez because Aaron Nola's starting the second game tomorrow. I think the Phillies are going to sweep that doubleheader tomorrow.
Hope so.
I mean, they need to. They need to start catching some of these games. And the Red Sox, they're one of the worst teams in baseball. I mean, we all knew they weren't going to be as good this year, but man, they're really. I think they're riding in the cellar right now.
But how bad? I mean, as a Boston fan, when you see Mookie Betts just tearing it up out in LA and going, what the?
Yeah, I mean, because that's a piece that you can rebuild on, though. Still, Coach, like you know what I mean. That's what I don't understand. I know the big thing was they want to get under the luxury tax, obviously, and that's why David Price had to go with that because they didn't want to pay David Price. So that's why it was so big. They had to take that contract with Mookie Betts, obviously. But yeah, I mean, Boston's got a long rebuild ahead of them and a lot of talent in that division with the Yankees. And Toronto up and coming and very young, and then obviously Captain Jack's Rays.
And in honor of my boy Jason Dean.
Well, yeah, 7 and 18. They're terrible.
In honor of Jason Dean Hunter, who I love like a brother from another mother, I had to wear my Rays jersey and matching All-Star game hat. You see the even the little things there in the All-Stars, the matching All-Star game hat for the Tampa Bay Rays, beating some team from New York. The name escapes me, but
there
you go.
Let it escape you. We're moving on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Yankees will win tonight. Cole's on the mound, a true ace.
Okay,
so Garrett Cole pitching tonight.
Well, if he loses tonight, then I win my other bet with Jason Dean.
Yeah, you know what, Captain? You should revise that for him since we know he can't win 20 games. You should make the bet that Garrett Cole won't lose a game this year. So then he at least has a chance. Because, look, man, I know it's only 60 games, but if he can go 8, 7, 8, no. Hey, you guys are not even going to start 20 games, man. Look at Captain.
That
what
is
a shyster, man.
No. Wait a second. Nevada Nick, man.
No, that's the reason why I took the bet. That's the reason why I took the bet.
Who came up with that bet? It's his own fault.
It's easy money, man.
Yeah.
If he's 19-0, he loses the bet.
Wow.
If it's 19-0, he loses the bet. He said, and I quote, Garrett Cole, 20-0 this year. I said, really? He goes, yeah, I'll lay 50 on it. I'm like, I'll take that. And I don't bet.
And this wasn't before the season. This is when he knew it was going to be 60 games.
This is when he knew it was going to be 60 games. And Jason Dean is in here. So, Jason Dean, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, ship me some of that acid you were taking, Jason Dean. I'd like some too.
Whatever he's smoking up there. Jesus.
And again, love Jason Dean. That's the only reason why I took the bet. I mean, how can you lose that one? How can you lose that one? And you know what? And if Garrett Cole wins 20, I will give Jason Dean, not only will I give him 50, I'll probably take him out for a steak dinner.
Well,
nice.
Now, I don't know if you guys
– his choice or your choice?
Oh, well, I'll take him to let me see. Who has steak?
Outback?
No, I was thinking more Steak and Shake.
Oh God! Wow, man, getting a let out of that penny.
hey, steak dinner, Steak and Shake. It's right in the title, right? Steak and Shake.
Yeah. Now I don't know if you guys heard, but I actually think this is a good idea. The NFL is talking about once they get to the playoffs, doing a bubble. And that makes sense. I mean, they should probably do it earlier, but I just don't think the logistics of it are possible. But I do like it because you don't if obviously the coronavirus, which we all believe is still going to be an issue and by the time playoff season comes around, I like it because you don't want to be going into the first or second weekend of the playoffs and a Mahomes or a Drew Brees or somebody of that nature contracts corona and then they miss a playoff game.
No, I disagree. I want Patrick Mahomes to have coronavirus. And by the way, for everybody that is listening to this topic right now, everybody that's listening to it, when you tune in tonight, forget that you're listening to it because Angela and I have already discussed this as one of our talking points. And she's a lot prettier saying it than Nevada Nick is.
Yeah, but I still think, like I said, it's a good idea. You don't want to be captain. Like with me, when my Eagles played in the Super Bowl, I didn't want to play Jacksonville. I wanted to play New England. I wanted the best to beat the best. And to see Captain likes to take the easy road and have Mahomes get hurt and win that way. See, Nevada Nick's different. He wants to play the best.
I want to play the best, but that doesn't mean I don't want them to have key injuries at the right time.
Right.
Okay. Right. I mean, it's next man up in football. I'll admit.
Oh yeah, it is.
When the Raiders played the Colts last year, right? Before the season started, everybody was saying the Raiders were going to get their asses kicked because Andrew Luck was the Colts quarterback, and they're coming off this and da 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 da. And what happened? Well, Andrew Luck retired, right? Right. Then I think they had like a key. The receiver was out, right? And then another guy was out, right?
T.Y. Hilton. Yeah.
There you go. So Hilton's out, Luck is out, and the Raiders Raiders hung on to win. But you know what? Hey, sucks being you. Next man up. Okay.
Yeah. No, the Eagles dealt with it, obviously, when Foles took over. And when Wentz hurt his knee in that Rams game, I'm not going to lie. At first, I thought our season was over. And then when we were an underdog in that our first game, which was obviously the second round because it was a bye, and we were an underdog, I just had this feeling, they really rallied around that whole underdog thing. And that was one of the things I really think gave them that jolt to the Super Bowl, because they really rallied around that, and they had great chemistry, which to me is one of the most important things, especially in football, is when you got that team that wants to play for each other and just has the right chemistry, man, there's nothing better. I mean, I think Coach saw that with his Giants, because they went in as a 6 seed the one year, and they just started playing football at the right time and rallying together. And, man, there's nothing harder than going to play 3 games on the road in the playoffs, winning, and then going to play Tom Brady in the Super Bowl and winning. Right. I mean, pretty impressive.
Well, I believe the Green Bay game was one of the coldest games on record.
Oh, yeah, it was.
As well.
Well, Coughlin looked like Santa Claus on the sideline. His cheeks were so red, man.
And the Packers' record at home in the playoffs, because I remember that was a big deal when Michael Vick went in.
Right. If you remember, Vick was the first one to beat them in Rambo.
So they have a great record at home in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, that was like that because remember the Raiders didn't they have one of the best Monday night records ever? Like, weren't they like 26-4 or something like that?
We did.
Right, we did at one time. I said
at one time. We don't play on Monday night much in a while anymore, though.
Like I said, that was something that the Raider organization was very proud of. They were the kings of Monday night, and then it got to a point where it'd be like the antipathy, or actually it's not the right word. No, the antithesis there. That is the correct word of what Gruden did on that video, or Gruden as in John Caliendo. You know how he was like, win. Wait, no. Raiders on Monday night for years was L, because they would lose. I mean, they would win every now and again. And even they would get up for Monday night. They would bring in the old Raiders of the 70s and say, dude, this is our night. This is the night that we win. This is Raider football night. And they still couldn't get a win for a lot of those times. So they went from being the best Monday night team. I don't even know what the record is anymore. I'm sure that, in fact, while you guys talk, I'll look it up and see if I can do it. But
and that's the one thing that's a shame. I know me when I was in my teenage years, Monday Night Football was such a big thing, right. And the players loved it too because everybody was watching you. You know what I mean? You were the game, and it's ever since it switched, especially to ESPN, and they lost Al Michaels, it's just been a different feel. And if you look at it now, really, that highlight game is the Sunday night game now. And you can see by how they schedule it. They don't really schedule that Monday night game strong. It's almost when you look at it, you question it sometimes. But it is what it is. But I know people didn't like the 9 o'clock start, before, but man, I loved
when they moved it to 8 o'clock for that.
Yeah. I remember the game
was so much better at 8.
Sorry, Captain. I know it was against your team. But when he played the Raiders, when his father just passed away, he threw the 6 touchdowns.
I remember that game. I remember that game.
I was actually in a strip club watching that. So
you definitely had a better night than I did that night. That's for sure.
Well, I'm not. I hate to sound morbid, but when things like that happen, I tend to go because you see it a lot where teams will rally around each other. Yeah, I bet the Packers that night. You see that a lot where out of a tragedy you can see players coming together. Obviously.
I got the stat because I did look it up. Okay. Right. It said the most wins, and I don't understand why they say this because I thought they said that they had the most wins and they don't. The win percentage now, the best win percentage on Monday night is the Seahawks with a 742 win percentage with 31 games played. Now, I'll go with the 49ers next. They've actually played more Monday night games because of obviously of their tremendous history. They have the second best win percentage at 685 with 71 games played. Now the Raiders are still top 5 and they still got a 600 win percentage because they played 66 Monday night games 39, 26, and 1. But that win percentage used to be well above the 742 that the Seahawks had. They were in the high 70s, low 80s, if not nines, when they used to play on Monday night, which will tell you how bad the Raiders have slipped on Monday night. I'm sorry, guys. It's right there.
Yeah.
Right. The stats are right there.
Yeah.
I knew that used to be a big deal. You know, with,
well, that was Andy had a nice run too. He had a stretch where he was undefeated in primetime games. It was like 11-0 or 12-0 when McNabb was there. Just like Belichick and him have great success after the bye. Both of them have like great records after the bye.
Yeah. Yeah, the Giants had that for a while. I think Andy's like, I think he's only one loss off the bye.
Angela was in the 70s. That's why she doesn't remember.
Yeah.
In the 70s. Yeah. It was kind of before you were around, honey. So, trust me on that one.
Now, another thing that happened too, me and Coach talked about a little bit off air. Lane Kiffin came out today and said that he thinks players that in the Big Ten and Pac-12 should be able to transfer if they want to.
I agree 100%.
I actually agree too.
Yeah, especially if they're a senior. If they're a senior and want to get their last season in, why not? I mean,
I don't care. It should be, FU to Ohio State or any of those schools for,
I agree.
Just backing down. I mean, because how do you, Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State, sit there and allow that to happen when you are the conference? You three teams are the conference. Yep. No one gives a shit about any other team in the conference but you three. And you allow it to happen.
And on that, because I know that you're not addressing there is another conference in question here, and that's the one out west. Now, granted, there isn't the resplendent amount of great teams out there, but those kids that are at USC, at UCLA, at Stanford, at Washington, at Oregon, okay, those are five. Maybe they're not the best, but those teams always give good games and are a decent thing, and they get those scholarships as well because they said we want these kids to come here, right? Why the hell should those kids that are in that conference, if they are that good and if they want to play somewhere else, you know what? Fuck you, NCAA. They should be able to go without question, no strings attached, saying who wants me?
Yeah, the last time something like that happened was when Penn State got all the sanctions, and they let all those kids like Silas Red. Right. He went to USC, and he actually helped beat Penn State a few years later. But and I think it should happen. Another team in the Pac-12 who I was really looking forward to watch play this year was Arizona State with Herm Edwards in that third year. You saw some improvement last year. Yeah. And I love Herm Edwards. How can't you love Herm Edwards?
Herm.
I'm a believer, and I think you saw it with Fleck in Minnesota. College, you got to be patient. And this was his third year, and I was excited to see what he did in the Pac-12. And I'll tell you, boy, would it make college football exciting if all these guys, would be able to, transfer, and all these teams be going out, kind of like SMU. When SMU ended, all these coaches were flying down there to get these kids to go here and there because, you're talking about, Big Ten talent. You get a lot of good players that you could bring into your team. And, you can't blame Lane, who he could be bringing some nice kids into Ole Miss who might not want to go play at Alabama and other such schools where they think they might not play. So it might make things very, very interesting. And Franklin from Penn State came out and spoke against the everything. He said he didn't disagree with it, but he didn't like how it all played out, that there wasn't enough communication. And it is true. They released their schedule and then 6 days later pull the plug, which doesn't make any sense.
Hey, Jason Dean, I'll bet you $50 there's at least 13 players from that conference that'll hit the pros. Okay? I'll bet you 50 on that one. I'll bet you. You know what? I'll bet you 100. I'll double the stakes there. 100 and a steak dinner from Texas Roadhouse. I'll even up the steak dinner too.
Wow.
Not like Morton's or Ruth Chris. We're at.
Oh no! Actually, no. the best steak, and this is horrible to say. I've been to Shula's. I've been to Ruth Chris.
Mm-hmm.
No, I have a better steak at Texas Roadhouse with all of the amenities thrown in there compared to Ruth Chris and Shula's. Overpriced shit, and then you have to buy the potato, and you got to buy the vegetables.
Yeah,
fuck
a la
you.
carte. Yeah,
I'll take.
I know how they bring the dessert out first too.
No, Captain,
they whack you for the dessert first.
Yeah, Captain, at Texas Roadhouse, isn't that the place where you can pick the steak out too that you want them to cook?
Yeah,
I think you can do that there. Yeah, where you can say, "I want that one right there." I'm pretty sure you can do that.
They have it in the window as soon as you go up front. And on top, they have the butter there. And yes, I'm unfriending you too, Jason Dean. I love you too, and I'm unfriending you too. You bastard.
Well, I tell you, the
Del Frisco's is good. That's true too. Sullivan's is good. I don't know if either of you guys have heard of Sullivan's. That's more.
I've never heard of Del Frisco's.
Del Frisco's is really good.
Now, a buddy of mine took me to this place. God, where are we? In Arkansas or somewhere where you cooked your own steak.
Oh yeah, there's
you went in there. You walk through the case like it was like a supermarket. You pick the steak out of the case and you throw it on the grill. And I'm like,
yeah, they have one in Norfolk. They have one in Norfolk. They say, "Ooh, come join, come get your own steak." Fuck you! I'm
paying.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I want a good
steak. Just buy and that makes no sense.
Right.
Yeah. Coach, you want to put up what Stiz said because that came out today too.
Hold on.
Yes, there is, and you know what? That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
here's my surprise face.
Yeah. Especially after what you heard he did to that girl, and obviously there's going to be people that are going to say, "Oh, now they're coming out because it." But some girls they don't want to get the ridicule because a lot of them get ridiculed, and it's really a shame.
I'm going to do my Charles Barkley impersonation for all you guys. So from last night when he was talking about the Blazers sweeping the Lakers, this is what happens in college when shit happens. That's a broom I have in my hand, by the way.
You're right.
It's not me twerking. It gets swept. It gets swept. You have the people that have the money in the athletic office, and you say, honey, and this is horrible. I'm not condoning it, but they say, honey, we understand it sucks. It's a horrible thing. Why don't we do this? And they lay out some money, and shit goes away. And it's not even to those people, or it's to the cops that are in a lot of these things as well. Because
just win football games.
They did it at Penn State. They've done it at Florida.
Baylor.
As a Gator.
Baylor was really bad too.
It gets swept. It gets swept.
Oh, wow. I didn't hear that part. Both girls told coaches and school officials and never got investigated.
Again, here's my surprise face.
Look, but now all of a sudden now you watch because now you what happened at Baylor, I wouldn't be Ed Ogeron and his might be looking for a new job or be out of football for a little while.
Yeah, but Ed, I don't think Ed was there when there. He wasn't there when Darius Nice was there.
It was Miles. It was less than Mad Hatter Miles. That's who the coach was at LSU.
Really? I thought
that was
gone.
I'll look it up.
Okay, my bad.
I think this might have been year 3 or 4 for Geis. So I think
year
it was
3 for Geis.
Okay,
I thought Ogeron was there Geis' senior year.
You might be right, but you got to hear who was told too. Look at the Penn State situation where that's he told the McQueary supposedly told Paterno. Paterno told the president of the school, and then they obviously didn't report it. So technically, Paterno did what he was supposed to do.
Right
now, we all know he should have done more.
Right.
Joe Postetti should have done more. But it's just sick what some of these people will do just to preserve a football program and to get some wins.
Yep. Yeah, good movie, Jason Dean.
Great movie.
Program,
I remember that was what we used to love. That we used to have our black jerseys on defense, and I said this to Jason Dean before. I remember it was my big thing when I was D1. I said, "Man, I got a seat at the table, baby." That was, good old like our boy Latimer. That's what's up there. That's in my top 3 football movies. I love the program.
I'm looking, by the way, so I haven't forgotten it.
Okay.
I have Geis there at LSU from 2015, 16, and 17. Okay, so now I'm looking up when
At Orgeron. Yeah.
No, I ain't up Orgeron. I went through Miles, and right now Miles, give me. I don't want the LSU history. I want Les Miles
for Jason Dean too.
Okay,
I don't know if you heard, but Notre Dame had they're I think suspended practice because they have a uptick in corona positive tests, not in the team, but supposedly in the last few days 222 students tested positive for it. So they kind of, I think, put a hold up to practice.
Okay, and the answer to the question is yes. Okay, because it was kind of a tween thing, and I remember that they were talking about Darius Geis and some nefarious activities. So, but it started in Les Miles's organization. He was there through 16, and then Orgeron was from 16 to present. So, if I'm not mistaken, Miles had the football team through the 2016 season,
right?
Then quit. Orgeron, it says 2016.
Fired.
Well, you know what I'm saying. And
right.
then he was fired because shit was going on. And then Orgeron came in after that. So Orgeron would have probably had him for that last season, but the stuff was brewing under Les Miles, and I stake my case. I believe I'm correct.
Hey, where's Les Miles now, too? Didn't he just take a head? Isn't it Kansas? Yeah.
Kansas.
Which, talk about trying to really take a team and turn it around. Kansas is one of the – I mean, Charlie Weiss went there and couldn't do nothing, although Charlie, not a great head coach, in my opinion. Good offensive coordinator.
Charlie should have just went back and been an OC.
Yep.
Jason Dean, isn't Notre Dame still paying Charlie Weiss? I think they still are.
What do you get, like a Bobby Bonilla deal?
You know, I got to my time at FAU. I got to hang out with Charlie's son, CJ, Charlie Jr. Great guy, guy, and stuff. And you know, Charlie, I think is he down South Florida, but he's good play caller. He has like a photographic memory too. Kind of, you know.
It's amazing how many of these kids and their sons follow their foot, which is tough when your dad. I was actually saw one last night on Hard Knocks. Rex Ryan's son is a offensive quality control coach with the Chargers, and he actually had a positive test for COVID, and they removed him from the team here to find out it was a false positive. And he had to come back a couple of days later. He said, I was freaking out. Thought I had coronavirus, was worried I, maybe gave it to one of the receivers or players, and I'm going to, might lose my job or something. And here it was a false positive the whole time.
Well, here
2 more years. They got to pay Charlie Weiss 2 more years.
And he's been gone how long? It's been almost a decade, right?
Gone for
over a decade, right?
That's a Bobby Bonilla deal, man.
Yeah. He had a little success. And then they gave him that contract.
And they gave him that huge extension because they were afraid he was going to go to the NFL. And he signed that big extension, and then he shit the bed.
That's one crazy thing about, because you see Andy Reid has had so many coaches have success. I mean, even like a Childress who got the NFC Championship at least. But, man, Bill Belichick, who's the man, the myth, the legend, nobody can have success, and it's a surprise. It really is. I mean, none of his assistants have really done well. I mean, now you even see with Patricia. I think he's gone after this year in Detroit.
Yeah, I think Patricia is gone, and also, and how do the one guy you point to have success is the guy in Houston, who I don't think is very good.
Right. I think he's got talent
too.
And he's in a bad division, too, I think, which he's benefited from. Yeah.
Hey, Jason Dean, we could talk about Jerry Faust if we want to talk about somebody else.
And I think, I think Detroit might be better than the Packers this year.
Wow.
I can see them on a same level.
Because I just think that there is the pot's starting to boil over on the stove there in Green Bay. Because you don't go and go a game from the Super Bowl knowing you need a running back and offensive lineman and you trade up and get a quarterback. That says we're getting you out and there's going to be some issues, man.
And Devontae Adams even said when they brought in for training camp this year, he said, I thought we were going receiver in the first round. And then when he heard that, and I think that tells you that maybe not this year, but after next year, I think Aaron Rodgers will end up being a free agent. And speaking of the Lions, too, I would not be surprised if this year, if they're looking at another 5-11, 6-10 type year, that they don't just, blow it up. New coach, new GM. And you may see that GM come in, let Stafford play a year, but draft that quarterback of the future. And, Stafford may see, because he's got that huge deal, but he's like, not that Stafford's bad, but he's just not producing. I think it's more the organization than him and what's around them. But still, I mean, it's just not a lot of success.
Rudy.
I agree.
Rudy.
Did you hear what Joe Montana said about Rudy?
No.
Yes.
He was on Barstool. He basically said that there was nobody chanting Rudy, and that after the game, he did get the sack and all, but then the three biggest pranksters on the team were the one that carried him off. So basically kind of telling you.
It was more of a joke carrying him off.
Right.
Because, in Notre Dame, that's a big deal getting carried off the
nobody
field
has been since.
Because no one had been called off since Newt Rockne was the last person to get carried off the field,
Right.
So
hey, John Madden got carried off, and anybody that can carry that fat, wonderful gentleman, I won't call him anything other than that. But remember, the guys that carried off John Madden, as big as he is, was Charles Filial, who's like a house, and Ted Hendricks. And that's the reason why John Madden got carried off.
Yeah.
So
now,
there you go.
Wasn't John Madden supposed to be on a plane that ended up crashing, and that was why he was always afraid to fly and had the Madden Cruiser? Or is it – I know he's afraid to fly, but I wasn't sure about if he was supposed to be on a flight that crashed or something.
Yeah. Oh, boy, I saw some back feed. If I remember right, and it's been a while since I read because I got his first two books. If I remember correctly, it was one of the schools that he was with out in because he was he played for the Eagles. He blew out his knee. He wasn't successful after that. He went to one of the different schools, and it was either a school that they were playing or the school that he was in was in a plane crash. There was something that was very close to him in that, and that is the reason why. That's the reason why. And he hated to fly the entire time that he was a coach. And he when he got out of coaching and said, hey, if you want me to do this, guess what? I'm going to have and I think it was the train at first. It was like Amtrak. And then they got him the Madden Cruiser. And by the way, Boston just won.
Yeah. And Coach,
Lou Holtz got carried off in like 1988.
Yeah. Well, no, I did say I thought nobody's been carried off since Rudy, and he's right. Lou Holtz didn't call off. I do remember that.
I said prior to
prior to that.
Rudy was
right.
Right. When the movie was made, that was still a valid statement.
Yeah, because that says it at the end. So I've seen Rudy so many times, and we were talking about Caliendo. Another voice he does great is Madden. That might be his best, and that's the one that made him famous. Was doing Madden. He does great, John Madden. Frank Caliendo.
He needs to pay a subsidy to the Raiders. Period. Because without John Madden, without Gruden, he wouldn't be the star that he is.
Funny.
You see what Stiz said? Yeah, I got a collared shirt on.
I got all this.
You trying to impress my co-host? You trying to impress my co-host?
Yeah, I'm trying to impress him by going 7-0 today. Hopefully, that's how I'll try to impress him.
Hey, come on, Steve. The guy's got 4 cell phones all ringing, trying to talk to people, placing bets at Hong Kong because it's this time, and he's got all kinds of stuff going on. So,
although I do got to give the coach the credit. The last 2 times I was with Coach, he's the one who broke the ice for me for me to talk to girls. So thank you, Coach. Coach is great with that kind of stuff.
Hey,
Obviously,
never-
nothing for Coach, because Coach is happily married, obviously, has a wonderful wife who he's dearly in love with, great human being. Coach outkicked his coverage by about 100 yards, but yeah, he did break the ice for me.
You never close your eyes. Oh, I hate it when she loses that love and feeling, baby.
I forgot, you made me lose, but yeah, you know what? But here's the thing: when you're the mayor of the town, I mean, you kind of know a lot of people, so it's easy to be, it's easy, when you're a politician, like, I'm not, but so anyway, it is a.
You lost that love and feeling, baby.
Yeah, you threw me off with that. I don't know. Sorry, but anyway, yes. But Madden is captain, the wingman.
Hey, man, I could pull some decent stuff for for my age, because I got lots of personality.
You know what, man? And it's always been my key. I mean, obviously, I'm no Leonardo DiCaprio, maybe a little bit of a Dan Goodman or Chris Farley. But if you can make a girl laugh, it can go a long way. It really can.
Is Dan Goodman's John Goodman's brother?
Oh, yeah, John Goodman. Sorry. He's Dan Connor. That's what the Fruity and Freudian slip, Captain. I'm thinking Dan Connor, so I said Dan Goodman. Sorry, Captain.
I'm sorry. That's a quick joke, man. That's the only reason why I use
the one I've gotten the most, though, and literally I've been in bathrooms before, going to the bathroom, and people will be, if you ever seen Pawn Stars, I mean, when I don't have the beard and I'm clean shaved, I've gotten Big Hoss like 5 or 6 times. And literally one night, one guy paid for all my drinks, and he was convinced I was Big Hoss, and I kept on going with it and got free drinks all night because he thought I was Big Hoss from Pawn Stars. You got to realize, out in Vegas, too, which is where Pawn Stars at. So, it happened a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Well, all I would have to do is shave this, and I would look like Jay Leno. But then I would have to get the haircut too, and because I got the bigger chin. But no,
see, I don't even worry about it. I'm deep, see, I got the great shades, and that's it, man.
Yeah.
I'm golden.
Coach, you want to put up what Chris Lentz said, too? Because that was another thing I was going to go to. Oscar De La Hoya is jumping on the Roy Jones, Mike Tyson bandwagon. And I guess he's going to take off his lingerie to return to the ring and fight.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
I'm not a De La Hoya guy, though.
If they're going to pay you.
Promotion.
He's a promoter now, right?
Yeah, Golden Boy.
Promotion or
Golden Boy
whatever.
Promotion. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Who's that for, Jason Dean? Otis from WWE?
I know exactly who he's talking about. The girl, Otis, I think it's the guy with Mandy Rose. He had a crush on her. If I'm right, Jason Dean, tell me if I'm right. I think that's who it is. I don't watch wrestling as much as I used to. I'm a huge wrestling fan. Not a mark, but I'm a wrestling fan. So we aren't marks, right, Coach? You don't want to be a mark, Coach.
Yeah, don't be a mark.
So Nevada Nick looks
or a rat.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to be a rat, that's for sure. We'll keep that kayfabe, though, Coach.
Got you. But Jason Dean, why are you not? Oh, am I on the? I am.
Yeah, you're on the wrong thing. I see you.
I'm
Jason
on the
Dean
wrong
thing.
Okay.
Thanks for playing, Coach. We got some wonderful party gifts for you. Tell him what he's won, Johnny. He's won a all-expense trip to school where you learn how to use damn StreamYard. Yay!
You'd be surprised, Cap. And look at YouTube yesterday, where the first 11 minutes of the show were him trying to turn the comments on. But now we fixed
the problem.
Yeah.
So remember, guys, tomorrow. So Jason, we missed you yesterday. Hopefully tomorrow you'll get onto YouTube with us. Join the crew. We're moving over. We're slowly making the move to YouTube. So we're going to be part-timers on both platforms for a little while. So
Kamala, the Ugandan giant.
Yeah, he actually passed away last week too.
Yeah, I was just going to say, didn't he just pass away?
Yeah, he just passed away a week ago.
That's a name I don't know.
Kamala. Yeah,
Kamala. Yeah,
I know Idi Amin, but I don't know Kamala. Idi Amin, I know. Idi Amin Dada. There you go. No, that's his name, really.
So did you see the Titans signed Simeon?
Trevor Simeon
as the backup.
Yeah, wow.
That's not a bad. I mean, that's a bad, or not a bad. Sorry, it's not a bad, low risk, high value signing. The kid's got an arm. He just hasn't been able to take allegedly the football smarts that they thought he had, because again, that's a John Elway draft pick, and he had a lot of things going for him apparently from what he was drafted for. He just hasn't been able to live up to that. So if they don't put a lot into that,
got a Brinks truck full of money.
Yeah, that's not bad. Who the fuck cares for what?
Maybe Kamal. I don't know.
Probably one of my comments. Yeah, you weren't here yesterday for geography with Captain.
Now, anyway. 3 weeks tomorrow night, boys. The NFL starts. We're almost there. 3 weeks away.
3 weeks.
And what's the opening game again? It's Kansas City and Denver, is it? Or
I thought it was Houston.
Texans, right? Which I didn't get. Because usually that first game, I know it's always the Super Bowl team, which is fine with me.
Usually it's a rematch. Like a couple years they've had the Super Bowl rematch.
Right. Only if the rematch is in the same schedule, because remember you have
they don't always play because it switches around.
Right.
But yeah, I mean Houston with DeAndre Hopkins gone, and I mean look, I know you still got Watson, and it's Watson Mahomes, both drafted the same year. But to me, it's like you could have come up with a much, much better game than that. I just don't get it.
Right.
Oh, he was saying Trevor Simeon. Who cares? And I hate to say it, I kind of agree with him. Captain's right. He's a serviceable backup. But if Tannehill goes down, the Titans are in trouble.
Well, not really. I mean, you're
no. Wait a second.
You're putting the load on Henry. I mean,
Yeah, but Tannehill was still good, Coach. I know Henry had the load, but Tannehill was the highest rated QB down the stretch. He played good football.
1 year, Nick. Tannehill was pushed out of Miami.
You're talking about going from Tannehill to Trevor Simeon. That's a huge drop-off. That's what I'm saying. Not that Tannehill's a stud yet, but I don't think he's a bad quarterback.
Well, yeah, but he improved.
He's a stud. Have you seen his wife?
What?
I guess Tannehill's wife's hot. Let me look her up.
Okay, and there is a page, football players' wives, and who has the hottie. But yeah, I mean, Tannehill improved by, I would say, by thousands for the 1 year, because he sucked in Miami, and people were saying, and remember, he was a receiver at A&M, and the only reason why Miami picked him was because their coach at A&M was made the head coach there, and they picked him in the draft.
Now, let's not forget, I wouldn't say he sucked, Captain. I would say, I
would.
He did.
Okay, let's go over this. So, 2013, 4,000 yards passing, 24 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. 2014, 27 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. 2015, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. 16, 19, and 12. 2018, 17, and 9. His rating was always around 90. I mean, that's not a shitty quarterback. And he was on the Dolphins.
It was the coach. The coach. And where's that coach now? Oh, he's at the Jets. That's right.
Yeah. And
ruining another young quarterback.
The one stat that you did, and yes, I was at that game, by the way, Angela. That sucked when Tannehill beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
The one stat that you didn't put up was how many wins.
Yeah, I know you're right, but that was, I think, more of the team than it would be him.
Yeah,
Dolphins weren't exactly the most talented team.
Yeah,
right.
But see, and I'm going to piss off a lot of people hearing this that are Raider fans here. These are the same things that they say. Well, look at the stats Carr has. Look at the stats Carr has. It's wins. Okay.
Yeah.
Just win, baby. You can. I mean, the greatest quarterback, I think, on record statistically for the Raiders that they've had, and I'm probably off, was Jeff George. And he had all of these stats way back when, and the Raiders were 4-12. 4-12.
Well, I wouldn't put Jeff George up there.
But here's the thing, and you don't see that. You see it with Tannehill because he was terrible in Miami.
He was terrible.
It was the coach because now he's having success somewhere else. And that doesn't really happen a lot of guys. Yeah. When they're bad somewhere, they go and be bad other places.
The Titans aren't loaded with offensive weapons. Yeah, you got Henry, but at the receiver position, they're not the most talented team.
Right.
So, I would say, Tannehill's he's a top 15 quarterback, and he's not bad. He's not great either.
I would say that if he's a top 15 quarterback, then he's 14 or 15. He's MOR, man, middle of the road. He's not great. He doesn't suck real bad. You got 32, so obviously half of 32 is 16. Maybe he's 15, 16, or 17. He's right there in that pack. As for now, I don't. I'm not saying statistics because then you can do the statistical things.
Yeah, I know. Is that true? I'm looking that up now.
Is that true, Stiz?
I would be shocked if that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm reading here. It says a day ago, ESPN Nagy says he needs more time to evaluate if Mitchell Trubisky has become a better player. I mean, how do you even say that in a press conference? You should never even say that. You keep that kind of shit in-house, to me, if you're the coach. You never give your evaluation out for a player. I mean, look at Bill Belichick's press conferences. You're not going to get shit from him, and that's how it should be.
Well, you know what that says to me
on to Miami.
On
to Cleveland.
They're done.
On to Miami.
They're done.
Yeah. Next question. On to Cleveland. Next question.
The best was when Wes Welker, remember how the Rex Ryan foot stuff? And he kept, just going to take it one, what do you say? Dip our toe in the thing.
Yeah, we're going to
dip our toe in the pool.
Put
one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
He kept going. And
a
he
whole pressing of double entendres, man.
It was great, man. It was great.
Yeah, we just put one foot in front of the other this week.
And he did it so seriously too, which was even better.
Dip our toe in the water.
Yeah,
we're gonna get a leg up on the competition.
Oh man, that was great, and that's funny. But no, that would be.
He did. He did get benched for like the half or something.
A quarter. I don't know if it was the half. It was either maybe like a series or two or the quarter at the most.
Yeah.
But that'll be interesting to see because I think unless Trubisky really shows some vast improvement, I don't see how you start him over Foles just because the success Foles has had in that offense. And I don't know, who would you trust more, Coach? I mean, a guy who's won the Super Bowl in Foles or a guy like Trubisky who is so up and down.
Wait a second. And I'm not harping on Foles. I'm not bad-mouthing Trubisky, but you need to go and look at what the quarterback does, playbook knowledge, man. If it's Nagy's system and Foles is not deeply ingrained in Nagy's system.
Yeah, he is, though, Captain.
He is. They worked together before.
Yeah, he was. Okay. He played in Kansas City when Nagy was there with Reed, and then he played for Peterson, who was of Andy Reid's system and Nagy's system. That's why I was saying, that's what I was saying.
As long as the system is, it's like the dialects, okay?
I agree with what you're saying,
right.
100%.
If you're speaking Tagalog and you need to speak Waray, and by the way, these are all dialects in the Philippines. The main language is Tagalog, okay? So again, there's another geography lesson for everybody here. But if the dialects are similar, the calling is similar, the intonation and all the other things, great. But if it's not, and you think it is, then maybe they grabbed him and said, well, why aren't you up on this? So maybe he's not quite up on it yet.
Yeah. Well, especially this year, too, with no preseason games. I didn't know, but the first 16 days were all walkthroughs. Just this Monday, they started finally hitting. So it's hard to really – how can you tell anything by walkthrough? So it's going to be tough to make that decision. So that might be part of it too. Just that, it's going to be really weird. And we would have had our first preseason weekend last weekend. Obviously, was supposed to be opening weekend for the preseason games.
And other breaking news: the pee-pee eater had a gonorrhea flare up in his eyes, so he's not with us today.
Really?
Yeah.
Too much you porn again, huh?
Yeah.
Red tube.
Too much.
Red
Too much.
tube.
Well, Tommy, our thoughts and prayers are with you and your eyes. Captain will mail that Visine he has the other day, and we'll make sure to find out some way to block you porn and red tube on your browser so that you can stop with your porn addiction.
This is for you, brother. This is for you. And Tommy, here's something I have learned. Yeah. This is something I have learned.
We're gonna
alternate.
Alternate.
You ever see the Family Guy episode with who's the porn guy? Giggity, that guy. And he comes out of his house. God, I can't remember his name.
I thought you were doing the guy from NASCAR.
No. Giggity. Anyway, he comes out of his house when he discovers porn. And then it shows him, and he's like a ripped buff guy on one side, and he's like skinny, the skinny on the other. Alternate, Tommy. Alternate, or you're gonna look like that guy. Don't be that guy. Alternate.
So he's on the watch party.
Quagmire. There you go.
He showed up on the watch party, Tommy. Just go over to the live feed. Stop being a touchstone tough guy when only one person can see you.
What'd he say?
Everybody to see it.
What'd he say?
I don't know. I guess his panties are too much in a bunch so he can wipe the gonorrhea out of his eye about not being on the show, man.
No, yesterday, once again, Tommy, we're not lying to you. Coach was having problems with the comments and was trying to figure it out.
Up for 32 hours straight, man.
Yeah, he was
trying to do that. Come on,
I got you.
So,
and like I said, we need people that comment like Jason Dean and Stiz, and Angela throws in a wallop every now and again because hers are quality.
Right.
Quality over quantity.
We're gonna get Angela live on here. We're trying to work getting her on.
I
saw her stuff.
Yeah, I watched episode 3 of Angela's show last night. Really good. And it brought up something too. They were talking about how they're going from Oakland to Vegas, and the home field advantage they had in Oakland, obviously. And that's one thing I saw in Philly, which is you'll probably see in Las Vegas. You lose that real fan. The link, when you went from the vet to the link, it becomes very corporate. They want to have those boxes and sell the big money, and it takes that fan out of it a little bit, it's just disappointing. The link, look, it's a beautiful stadium, don't get me wrong, but you lose the heart of it a little bit, and I'm sure that's going to happen with Oakland in the move to Las Vegas, and I'm sure they're going to have the issue of a lot of away fans trying to go there because that's the destination that you're going to want to go to.
Right.
And to you, Jason Dean, hats off to you. Like I said, hey, good luck with Garrett Cole tonight. Hopefully my Rays, my alternate team, hopefully my Rays can win, and hopefully the damn Phillies can come back and take it that doubleheader tomorrow. And I will be wearing my Flyers shirt tonight for my show.
Yeah, I didn't even know they were on, Captain. I didn't know they were doing back-to-back. Yeah, they're on at 8 o'clock tonight. So
8 o'clock. That's why I wore this for Jason Dean. I'm wearing my Flyers shirt tonight.
Let's see if Carter Hart can make it three shutouts in a row.
Caught hot.
Guys, man, we are right up against it. I can't believe we've been on. We're at 59 minutes, man.
We rolled tonight, man. We rolled
well. We rolled through it, man. Awesome show. Thank you, everyone, for checking us out. We appreciate it. Remember, tomorrow we are on YouTube tomorrow. So go over, subscribe to the page. Make sure you get your comments. If you missed any of the show, go and hit us up on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcasts, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. So take care.
Yarg.